big announcement today. We are finally starting the physical caravans, the in face-to-face gatherings of caravans again. I am so excited about that. The number one question I get from emails and on the channel and everywhere else is, where can I go and meet other nomads? I don't want to be alone. I'm afraid. And so the caravans are the answer to that. We will, HOWA, Homes on Wheels Alliance, will give you a GPS point, and it will move every 2 weeks on public land. And every 2 weeks, we'll give you a new GPS point so you can go to that GPS point and meet other nomads, and you won't ever have to be alone except the drive to the caravan. And that is so, so important. I think of all the things we've done, the caravans have been one of the very, very best. So, Sue-Ann, I'm going to have Sue-Ann tell you a little bit more about it. Sue-Ann is the executive director of Homes on Wheels Alliance, which is a 501c3 that we co-founded together. I am the president of the board of trustees of HOWA. It's a 501c3. It's an IRS recognized charitable operation. We're based out of Nevada. Okay, so Sue-Ann, let's first talk a little bit about our history with the caravans. They've been a real success.
They have been a real success, and it's been a bummer that we haven't had them for 18 months.
It sure is.
So it's good to get started again.
Right. In fact, the caravans were such a success. So in 2018, when we started them, people loved the gathering, and they built such a community that when they end every 3 months, or they did. That's not the way this is going to work. Instead of separating and going their own ways, they just stayed together.
They stayed together. Yeah, or they made friends and they split off and had their own unofficial caravan. So those were all real wonderful successes.
Right. So our goal is only to put you together. We don't want to interfere with your life or have control over your life. We simply want to provide a gathering place where you meet and make friends, and then you and your friends live your very best life. That's our only goal. We had to stop because of COVID. You know, we couldn't gather people anymore once COVID was really bad. And now that COVID is not done, unfortunately, we're not through it, but they've decided that we're safe enough being outside of the vehicle that we can gather again. It's legal, it's ethical to gather people together. And so we're going to start the caravans again. We do really want to strongly encourage you to be outside. I mean, the vans are, or cars or vans or even RVs are small confined spaces. You get a bunch of people in there, and you're spreading your germs with each other. So we are going to encourage you, but you're in charge of your life, that you remain mostly outside. You may want a mask. If it were me personally and I were in someone else's rig, I would wear a mask, and we would encourage that. Follow all CDC guidelines. That's basically what we're saying.
Right.
And so, Sue-Ann, anything else you want to say on that?
Yeah, I think we'll just recommend follow CDC guidelines. Use common sense. Try not to breathe others' breath.
That's a good idea no matter what.
Yeah, that's true.
If COVID's around or not, that's just a really good idea. So, and we are going to have to do it a little bit differently this year. One of the key things is we're meeting on public land. We're having recreation on public land. And if we have any kind of an organized event, then it requires a permit. And getting permits is a nightmare, and we're not going to do that. So this cannot be organized. We are not organizing it. We're just giving you a point and say, go camp together. Nothing else. We're doing absolutely nothing else. And that's very, very important that we all know that. If a ranger ever comes around and says, well, who are you? What are you doing here? You're just a bunch of friends camping together, and that's the 100% honest truth. Just friends camping. That's what public land is for. Therefore, it's free. This will not cost you anything.
That's right.
We're not going to charge. You'll never pay a penny. It's public land. It's absolutely free. You're in control of your life and your activities. So, Sue-Ann, we're going to do a little differently this year. Why don't you tell us about how we're going to do that?
Well, one way to think about it is HOWA is working on the organization before the caravan starts, and then there's no organization by HOWA at the caravan. It is truly recreational, truly just casual camping. So to find out information, the place to go is the Homes on Wheels Alliance website, and that's homesonwheelsalliance.org. And then in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a link to the in-person caravans. Just click on that link. There's all kinds of FAQs and information that we're covering here, plus more information. The thing that we're doing differently this time is we are not taking RSVPs like we did before on Meetup. We are just asking you to go to this website, click on the I agree to the liability statement, of course, after you've read it. And then once you click on that liability statement, you don't have to sign anything, but then you'll be given all of the information that's available on the current and then upcoming caravans. So the GPS coordinates, the written directions, where it is, all the information that you need. So I talked about how HOWA is organizing it beforehand. Let me share with you some of the things that we're looking for at these caravan sites. We're looking for places that all kinds of rigs can get in. It doesn't matter if you're in a car or if you're on a motorcycle or if you're in a big Class A. You can get in these places. It doesn't matter if you're a full-time nomad or a part-time nomad, or you're just testing it out. So basically everybody is welcome. The other thing that we're looking for is to have it close enough to town so that you have a place to get water, get your groceries, dump your trash, all of those kinds of things. We also want to make sure that we have at least one major cell carrier that's available at each location. And if for some reason it isn't, we'll tell you how far you have to drive, you know, like a half mile up the road or something like that in order to get a cell signal. And then probably one of the most important things is that we're putting these caravans in places that it's legal for people to disperse camp. And we're keeping the number at a size that the land can support. No more than 75, because we don't want to make it look like we're going to need a permit. But sometimes it will be less than 75 if there's too much plant life, or there'd be too much disturbance that would happen. And then finally, we want to make sure that after 14 days, you have no more than a half day's drive to the next location. And so that is the work that HOWA is doing to make sure that you can have community. We will mark center camp with a flag with the color of the caravan. So we're starting off with 3 caravans on October 6th. We have a red caravan that's called the Red Longhorns, and that will have a red flag at center camp. Then the orange caravan are the orange jackrabbits, and that is the all women's caravan. And then we have a green caravan that is the green whiptail lizards, and that's the men's caravan. So again, you go to that Homes on Wheels Alliance website and you click, I agree to that liability statement, and all of the information about each of those 3 caravans will be there.
Right. And so we did want to offer a men's and a women's.
Mm-hmm.
It's men's only, women's only. Of course, we don't own the land. We're not in control of the land. We can't tell you what to do. But, we think, and then we have a group, they're just intermixed. It's whatever you want, you can have. That's our goal. And so that's worked really well in the past. That's been a really successful thing. So we're glad we're doing that too. So one of the things we want you to be able to do is be able to communicate with each other virtually while you're in the caravans. Mm-hmm. And we're doing that through meetup.com. And so, Sue Ann, why don't you explain to them how they can use meetup.com?
Sure. So Meetup is not used this time for RSVPs, but there's a chat feature. So when if you want to, this is optional, you don't have to do it. You can RSVP to the meetup that corresponds to your caravan. So let's say you're part of the Red Longhorn caravan. You can go into Meetup, RSVP to that, and then you can chat with your fellow campers. You can chat with them before the caravan begins, or you can chat with them during the caravan. So let's say you want to invite people over to coffee. You can say, at 8 o'clock at my place, I'm whatever you go by at that caravan, come over and join me for coffee. that kind of communication. Or you want to go into town, or you want to see if anybody needs groceries from town. It's just a good place to have some online communication. And we're also going to provide an orientation before the caravan begins on Zoom. So that link to the Zoom meeting is again on the Homes on Wheels Alliance.org webpage for the caravans, but it will also be in the Meetup event. So you can click on either link, the links are the same, and it will happen the Monday before the caravan begins. So for the caravans that begin on the 6th, it will happen October 4th. And those times, again, are listed both on Meetup and on the website. And it's a half an hour. It's an orientation. We'll talk to you about what it's like to camp, where your caravan camp will be, and kind of emphasize some maybe important points that we want you to know. And you'll have a chance to exchange contact information if you'd like.
Yeah, a lot of us find it easier to meet others and get to know others online.
Mm-hmm.
And so this will give you the chance to meet other people so that when you walk into camp, you're not all alone. And that's the thing that I think scares us the most, just being a total stranger amongst total strangers. And so by gathering together beforehand online, the 2 days before through Meetup, then you can go there and you'll know people. Oh, we met. Hi, good to see you.
Right.
And so that hopefully will help you break the ice and make it even easier and friendlier for you there. Now, there's always a distinct possibility that people are going to come together, and there are going to be a few people you don't like. I mean, that's not just a possibility; that's nearly a certainty. Um, but what if there are too many people there that you just don't fit in? Well, the great thing about the nomadic life is we carry keys around with us. We put the little key in that little slot, and you turn that thing, and go to another caravan. And that's why we always have multiple caravans that you can go and check out. Now, I will say that has been almost never a real problem, but there have been a few times when there was a little conflict,
Mm-hmm.
and so people left and went and joined another caravan, and that is perfectly fine. That again, we're not in control. We're not telling you what to do. We're merely trying to provide an opportunity for you to gather, to build community, to make friends. And if that's not working for you, try another one. And I believe I'm pretty confident that as we go along, these caravans will grow, and we'll have multiple caravans
Right.
over the winter.
Right. We currently have 7 caravans planned by the time we get to January.
Right. As we get closer, as the winter comes on, and we're having to leave the cold states and gather in the desert,
Mm-hmm.
the caravans grow larger and larger. And so you'll have multiple caravans to choose from.
So, yeah, uh, if you have an interest, don't wait for HOWA to start something. Go for it.
Yeah, if you get there and there's 4 or 5 of you that share the same thing, meet together, get together. And we don't know what will give you your best life. Only you know that. So we want to put you together and give you the best opportunity for your best life.
Yes.
That's all we care about. Well, Sue Ann, I know this has been a lot of hard work for you and for the whole crew at HOWA,
Yes.
and I really, really appreciate it. I think this is one of the most important things we're going to do is build community, connect people together, intertwine our lives so that we have the joy of community. There's no greater joy to my mind that knowing I'm not alone. Uh, there is nothing more important in the human heart than knowing you're not alone. There are people around you who are like-minded that care about you and will help you in a time of need. So thank you guys so much for all your hard work.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, and look forward to seeing everybody that can come on out here.
So go to homesandwheelsalliance.org. On that page, you'll find the page that will tell you exactly everything you need to do, where to go, and we'll get these things rolling. And we're hoping for a great year of caravans and building community. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.